the value of this practice described by the director of the Self-Society, Mrs. where she explains that this practice helps overcome the fear and resistance over a diffusion of the soul in space. It actually brings people out of inertia as well, the performer, and prepares for a more dynamic functioning, particularly if the performer manages to retain the correct vibrational day. So it is like meditation. It's not, the benefit is not only when you actually do it, it's what happens afterwards, if you have this kind of stillness, let's say. Here we talk about movement, yeah? Also, those that are familiar with energy therapies about the chakras, are you familiar with this concept? There is research done about how this and all other dance movement therapies relate to activating the centers. Here is a testimonial from a healing session. So at the Self-Society, there are people that come and ask for different kind of healings, like a sort of spiritual healing, for example, the video before, but they might participate in a group of Chorodromena. This is something shared by one of the participants, where she said that at the first sounds, I felt myself becoming more peaceful, attaining balance. The movement, but above all the melody, gradually entered into my pores. My resistance was reduced. A new flow was entering me, following the pulsations of the ritual. My hands began to move of their own accord, joining in the rhythm, the inner pulsation which was flooding me. I felt that in this way I was spreading out. I was becoming part of a greater existence. Any limitation had left me. It had literally melted in the vibration of the ritual. I was completely free. So it's not only with this ritual that this kind of testimonies are shared, but it is a very powerful tool we have found having practices for many years. So I want to encourage you to see how you maybe use that. I mean, as I said, we are open to offer training for this practice, but also we're writing about it and there's some material for you to take. But I want to invite you to think how could you bring the benefits of this work, like facilitate the bonding and collaborative spirit in groups, moving from the individual to the collective, having a creative way that takes us away from the cognitive stuckness, facilitating the interactional dialogue with unconscious material as well, because we do a lot of symbolism, and in conflict resolution as well, especially in groups of staff, members and companies and other places. So how could this be used in individual or group therapy, in community group sessions, personal development groups, staff team building, peer supervision groups, work with young people? It works well with young people because it's also fun. Yeah. Training and educational sessions and support groups. Here's some information where you can take with you. So, because I think we have said a lot, like combine the thing together, so I want to take some time to hear your reflections and your questions about this practice, or maybe being open to the questions of my colleagues as well.
Yeah, I just don't get how you teach the movements.
Sorry?
How do you teach the movements? Do you explain them?
Yes.
The actions as you go about?
Yes. So, for example, let's say that we wanted to do it here. I would invite you to come here. We can do it. Yes. Let's say that we wanted to do. We will get. Yeah. I will tell you. Let's do the. You know, the one with the female with the temples. So we would teach you like in any other, like a dance. Yeah. So and I would explain the meaning to you, and then we would do it again and again. So then you will learn to do it on your own. Then you go home. If you have sisters or neighbors, you do it all together. You see what I mean? Or then you go and do it in your practice. Yeah, we teach the meaning.
Okay. Is anybody going to go with me?
Seems like. But we can do if you like.
Yeah, I would like to.
So, but I don't know if anybody wanted any other question as well. Yeah? Do you want to? So we would normally need 6. It's okay. Yeah.
So we stand as the half marathons. It's the same, it's the exact same posture. You have your right leg like this.
This is the offerings to the temple. Like in India, for example, when we have the yeah. So interpretation you can make to it. So I don't know if we managed to more like that, yeah? Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So can you combine that then with a more sort of traditional talking therapy? People can free stuff, get in touch with, sort of recognise feelings and emotions and then combine that.
I think you can, although I think that if the mind gets on the way sometimes, it's better to do it without bringing it to the cognitive state. I think you see what I mean? Of course you can. Yeah, if you have clients and you do, like, let's say, this week we do the group therapy, the talking one, and next week we agree that we'll do that. It's also like psychodrama. If you're going to analyzing it, takes away from the experience.
I
Yeah.
suppose my question is coming from in the first clip that you showed, it's a very powerful movement, the warrior movement.
Yeah, I
It's
see it
really
like that.
powerful,
Yeah.
and it had quite an impact on me.
On you.
And I just, it touched something in me, and I
You,
just thought,
the second video you say, or the first
The
one?
first one.
The first one.
Yeah.
This one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I just, you know,
Of course, I mean, if you're in a therapeutic relationship, it's like when unions work with the train.
yes.
Yeah. When you do the session with the train, you don't interpret it. But next time, you know, the therapy takes place between sessions,
It's
isn't
the
it?
insight. I think
Then
that's
you
what-
sit and talk about it.
Mm.
But it has much more powerful effect if it is embodied at the experiential level. And of course, then you can analyze it to bring it into consciousness.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because sorry, just
Yeah.
you acknowledge that all the power and the strength is in you. You learn your body. That's very important. That's why I was telling earlier for the feet, for example, that you're very steady, and you acknowledge that in yourself. That I have this power and strength in me. That I can be firm and steady and have this inner stance, and that is why I can, for example, handle all the energies. And this I learned after I recognize it in myself. I learned how to express it and give it to others.
Especially with groups that they have conflict. This
Yes.
works really well because it takes away of sitting and
Yeah.
trying to explain to each other which doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
why
totally in
that's
it.
why we're in the conflict in the first place.
It takes away
You know.
resistance.
Yes.
There's something to me about the archetypal
Yeah.
nature of it, and but that idea as well that you work with the kind of the symbols that are specific to a particular culture, but that also kind of express those archetypes. So
For the universals, if you
Because
like, the
for the
mother, the
universals,
feminine,
so-
the masculine.
yeah, and I was thinking of this. I guess I'm more familiar with the kind of Jungian,
Yeah.
the Jungian versions, and how they get represented in different ways, both in dance, but also in like the way the Jungian archetypes popping
Yeah,
up
the dreams.
and they're popping up in Harry Potter and Star
Yeah, yeah,
Wars
yeah,
and
yeah,
that
exactly.
sense that they're the same old archetypes, but they
Yeah.
keep reappearing in different ways in different cultures. But I can see the value of doing that in a more embodied way as opposed to just a kind of talking one.
Yeah, and that's why I think I find it difficult to present it because I don't. When I talk to an audience about that, I want to kind of allow you to have this experience before I break it down. So you see, so it was important to do that before we have this dialogue now. Yeah.
But what you say, sorry.
No, it's okay.
What you say actually is the same with what we have presented earlier, that actually there is a common nature in all things, in all ideas, in all emotions, in all
In all cultures.
movements, in all cultures, because these archetypes seem to repeat themselves over and over again. So perhaps it's only one archetype,
Yeah.
But I think we get stuck in the Western model of therapy, like America, it started in America, and especially I think with the UK context, it is relevant because of being a multicultural society. And I have clients that come to me because I'm foreign, and they say, that I feel more comfortable to talk to you because we're not in the box. Without this meaning that, it's a matter of awareness. It doesn't mean that if you're in your own culture it doesn't work. But I think it's what they project, the transference, how you use the transference basically. Yeah.
Next time when we have to do a workshop.
Yes, we are open for invitation. Yeah.
We're going to have to finish now.
Perhaps if you like, we can organize a seminar for the
Today,
here that
so we have some material for you to
Thank
take.
you ever so much. It's really